Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 281 for the week of October 11th, 2016. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Toby.
And Charlie.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Here.
You're here? Is that bad?
Well, two of them are on their phones, and
Charlie's playing. What are you playing, Charlie? Inform the audience.
He-Man Tappers of Grayskull game.
Nice.
Which basically means I have to hit two buttons approximately once every 5 minutes now.
Okay.
Because I've unlocked that much stuff.
You're tapping for
Tapping the
justice.
He-Man.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
I just summon Battle Cat and then make Orko give me more gold.
All right. He's
doing like what you do when you go fishing. You like fish all day. He just taps.
Fish on World of Warcraft, you mean,
Yeah.
or something? Yeah, of course. Of
Yeah.
course. You're always up on the hot new mobile apps, Charlie. You always seem to be playing something. I don't play stuff on my phone too often.
That's okay. I also have the Red Dwarf Series 11 game on my phone.
Oh, geez. I didn't know they had that.
Yep.
I am excited to watch Red Dwarf, though. I don't know if the audience knows you're a huge Red Dwarf fan. Like huge Red Dwarf
Like
fan.
huge.
Yep.
Like as big as you are. That huge.
If you've ever seen Red Dwarf, you should fix that. They were all on Netflix except for like the last season or two, right?
I don't know if they still are.
They were like a year or
Yeah.
two ago because I
Oh, yeah.
rewatched the
Yeah.
first like 8 seasons or 9 seasons.
Charlie
or
has
something.
turned me into a Who head, so I'm scared to have him introduce me to Red Dwarf because I don't need another show to follow.
There's like 40 episodes. It's so short.
Doesn't matter.
It's like 50 episodes over
understand.
20 years.
You don't understand. I go to Charlie's place and there's a giant Red Dwarf poster on the wall, and
It's really well.
And then he had stickers on his car saying, "My other."
My other car is Starbug.
Starbug.
Yeah, which is a Red Dwarf thing too.
You might not like. I mean, you don't generally tend to like British comedy stuff, do you, Toby?
I like Mr. Bean.
Okay. I mean, Does
that count? I don't know.
Sure. I get the feeling you probably wouldn't like it.
Okay.
Or you probably think it's okay.
See, I'm sure I could get him in the show if it had a hot chick.
Yeah.
But
that's
it
the
really
problem. This has
doesn't.
no hook.
No, it never does.
That's
It
no
never
hook.
does.
I go in for the hot chick and I stay for the content.
Mostly just 4 ugly guys. Yeah.
That doesn't work for me.
No.
I need the hook. It doesn't have to hook. Every show you've done with me so far had a hook
Yes.
of a beautiful lady.
No,
And then I stick around for the show.
I mean, top 5 comedies of all time, Red Dwarf's on the list for me. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's one of the funniest shows ever. But it's very
You need to
specific.
watch the new stuff.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. When it's all over, I'll watch it. Yeah. Well, this is not the Red Dwarf podcast. Although there should be a Red Dwarf comic. That'd be amazing. Paul Cornell could write it because he writes a lot of that Doctor Who stuff. Before we get on to our main topics for this week, let's discuss a superstitious, cowardly lot of criminals here in Sunnyvale, California. This episode will actually go before Geekbox. We're talking about it more. So.
Bullseye?
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 Is Bullseye here?
Well, I don't know. Is he in Sunnyvale,
That's
California?
a pretty shit job if it's Bullseye.
It's true. Actually, I call it a Mini Hulk. When I've been showing it to people, like, what the hell did a Mini Hulk run through the bottom half of the door?
So for those that don't know, that don't follow us on Twitter or Facebook or anything, the last week, mere hours after recording the podcast, Comics Conspiracy here in Sunnyvale, we were burgled for kind of the first time. We had a idiot.
Did they get 2 spells from a different class?
What?
Never mind.
That's why the newspaper reported you wrong because he said it was kind of the first time.
Well,
so they reported that as this the first time. First time that happened.
I don't know.
To you?
There was one article that was way wrong about everything. But anyway, when we had an idiot years ago throw a rock, I don't even know if we were recording the podcast. We might have been. Maybe just started.
We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that idiot because he was a great idiot.
Yeah, to me, I mean, yes, it was technically a burglary, breaking and entering.
It
and
was.
everything.
He took a box of magic
right,
cards.
100%.
It's a burglary.
100%. This was on another level, though. I don't believe they actually.
This is a plan. The one from a few years ago was like, I want those magic cards. Look,
Yeah.
there's a stone. Look, there's a giant window. I'm
Right.
going to smash the window. I'm going to take my magic cards, and I'm going to cut myself real good so that the police can follow me home.
Yeah, I don't think this was really planned so far in advance, but I definitely, because they didn't know what they were grabbing, but this was definitely a case where they had an intent to rob somewhere, and it just happened to be us.
And admittedly, they picked exactly the worst day to rob a comic shop. Like, if you had to pick one day of the week to rob a comic shop, Tuesday night is not
Well, again, like I said, it's not like they know that.
No,
I think it's one of the other competitors in this area, and they
Paid
knew
someone
to fuck you on Tuesday.
They paid someone to mildly annoy me.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was we had like these kind of Dutch doors kind of top and bottom disconnected, and they tried to they stuck a screwdriver in and tried to get in through the front. When that didn't quite work, they decided to just start kicking down the door, but because the doors do disconnect, they broke that. They broke the top part off of the door, or the bottom part off, and where it connects to the top part. So we have video surveillance and everything, and you could see they're definitely trying to get the cash register. I mean, that's what they're here for, but they can't really figure out what's going on. It seems like maybe they go in the back to get our safe, but our safe was created via a black hole.
Ever leave this area.
Billions of years ago. The Earth was formed around the safe in our back room.
If they ever tear down this entire complex,
it'll be
the safe will stay. Yeah, they have to build around it. Yeah.
Right. I'm assuming they saw that and went, oh, never mind, and decided to just grab what they can, because at this point, I mean, the alarm's going off, the police are on their way.
The sad part is they grabbed your backpack from high school, which has been this weird eyesore in the back of the store forever.
A random thing they grabbed out of the back room was, I've had this, my 25-year-old high school backpack, I just leave as like, I don't know, it's just in the back room because I didn't know where else to put it. And it's been there forever, and I don't know why they grabbed it. They grabbed it and like threw it on the front.
My guess is they thought they grabbed something of value to throw in it, and then realized there wasn't
there's nothing in it. Yeah.
Did you have a Walkman in there?
I wish. People don't, I mean, I'm not trying to play us down. We do business here, obviously, but we don't get the really expensive books that you think of comic book stores having. We don't deal in high-grade Silver Age stuff. No. The expensive stuff is like the fixtures, the monitor, the statue, which... I mean, you could steal a statue.
The plastic holders holding the $40 comic. Those are worth more than the comic.
Right. So they ended up just grabbing a bunch of comics, taking our cash register, which is all connected to everything else, and they just started ripping the cash register out as they were running from the cops. Or running because the alarm was going off and the cops got here in a few minutes.
They dragged stuff with them a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a nice mess of stuff on the floor when we got here, along with all the broken glass and everything. But yeah, they took a bunch of comic holders that we have on the wall that have our comic books in them, except those were like kind of custom made, 30 years ago, 25 years ago when the store was open. And so replacing those is more of a pain in the ass for replacing the comics they took. Again, we don't have really expensive comics here, just fun, current, hot display titles that are $25, $40 maybe, something like that. So what a pain in the ass.
We got $100 books on the wall, which they didn't even touch.
Happens occasionally. But yeah, again, these guys were obviously... I'm not trying to set up other comic stores around here, but there's plenty of other comic stores around here that do deal in a really expensive product. They chose the wrong store if that's what they were looking for. And like most places, we had a little bit of change in the register, ones and fives and some loose change, but I mean, not like a ton of money.
The register will cost you more than the money that.
Yeah, right. So, again, replacing the door, replacing the register, that cost more than anything they took.
Well, I think the saddest part is all they had to do was break one little panel on the window of the door, reach in and unlock the door.
Well, just like any place, they brute force their way through something that, again, if you were planning it, they could have done much easier and much quieter. Again,
much more efficient.
I'm not trying to tell people better ways to break into our own store, but
Good job, Brock.
No, but it's common sense, right? Yeah. I mean, these guys were not criminal geniuses, so unfortunately, no word as of yet. I'm going to call the police tomorrow.
They left the screwdriver.
Yeah, that was one great part. The screwdriver they used to break into the store, they left, so hopefully they can get some fingerprints off that, or they grabbed a bunch of the holders, and hopefully they can get something off that. So, yeah, great way to start my second decade at the comic store. So
I'm still telling you, as one of the other retailers, because when you just announced you had your 10 years at the store,
you're jealous.
They were like, on a Tuesday night, we're gonna fuck them.
Well,
it was probably the longest I've spent here on a Wednesday.
I was going to say, I have to absolutely thank Toby and Charlie and Brock. I mean, you helped out later. And, we had the sale and everything, so we had a lot of stuff to do. But we had every one of my friend and customers came by that day and were helping out. And, the regular customers came in and bought a lot of comics. And I had tons of customers and friends come down to help kind of get everything cleaned up, and they got a new door installed, and we're still working on it, but we're almost done, and got the cash register after a few days. So I literally could not have done it without my friends and customers and coworkers, because it was a really busy Wednesday on top of everything. So it was had to do.
Yeah, there was funny because some people had no idea. To walk up, go, why the hell is Toby Milton and Mayer from across the street or not down the block, and these guys holding the door?
Yeah. A few people thought, that they're just replacing the door. I'm like, no, we were burgled this morning. Someone broke in.
I was amazed at how many people wanted the remnants of the old.
Yeah. Well, we just ended up tossing it. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you for everyone that online. A lot of people had some nice words to say, and I've had a lot of people actually ask, "What can we do something? Can we support you guys somehow?" And I'm like, "Look, I don't need a ton of money just given to us. We've paid for stuff, but this is cost of business. I'm not going to turn down more purchases, though. So if you go in our digital store, digital.comicsconspiracy.biz, and pick up a couple extra trades or something, we get a little money that way. Come into the store and buy some items if you're around, if you're in town. We've had a listener today that stopped in and picked up a handful of books, so it's always great. Order some stuff with us, pick up a subscription from us. I don't need. Look, if you want to send me money, I'm not going to say no, but I don't need it, right? I mean, things are repaired, we're fine.
I need money.
But we can always have more.
I can always use more money.
Well, everyone can use more money, of course. But we can always use more business. I will never turn down. And so if you want to throw some money our way to help support us, or you can just support the Patreon, patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy. That is always appreciated as well, because we all get money and product from that. So
yay.
It's great for all of us. So thank you, everyone that helped. And hopefully it's the last time I have to talk about this. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen, but that's we'll talk about this forever. New York Comic Con was this past weekend. We are going to talk about Flash and Arrow premiere here later the episode, so you don't have to worry about spoilers for that. But there was a handful of stuff here.
Is it me, or does it feel like New York Comic Con really concentrates on the comic book?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
While the San Diego one is really like all the media.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's become. And even San Diego Comic Con has lost a lot of its media-ness, right?
Yeah.
I think they've really kind of pulled back from that quite a bit the last couple, especially this last year.
Yeah.
So we have a couple announcements of new comics coming out, a handful of new books here. We knew about Justice League America by Steve Orlando. We knew there's going to be that a Super Sons comic, but they announced
delayed now, right?
Yeah, this is all coming in February as part of the second month of Rebirth. They're going to be a new Batwoman comic by Marguerite Bennett and Steve Epting, Steve Epting, so good. So that's going to follow. It's going to be
the Captain America guy, right?
Yeah.
He is fantastic.
It's going to be Batman Rebirth. Batwoman Rebirth in February with Batman. Batwoman Rebirth in February with Batwoman #1 to follow in March. And so there's going to be a spin-off arc from Detective that's going to launch her into her own book as well, which Detective has been such a solid book. Any of you guys read that past Batwoman series? I know, Brock, I think you were reading it.
I read it. It's the stuff that came out of Detective was really, really good before the New 52. And then going into, it had a very awkward transition into the New 52 because it had that zero issue that was supposed to start with issue 1, but they never released. They said, "Oh, we'll just push it back," but oops, we released this zero issue already.
But I mean, it wasn't that awkward if you were reading it before.
No, if you were reading it before, it wasn't awkward. But no, I mean, the series started out fairly strong in the New 52, and then it just kind of leveled out, had its ups, had its downs. I mean, they had the creative team shake up when there was all that drama and all that. But
we talked about that at length. I
know. But I mean, overall, it was good. There's certain stories they did in there, like there was the team up with Wonder Woman, if I recall, that was really, really good. And
those issues were great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would suggest the Batwoman series from pre-New 52 and the New 52.
And it kind of laid the groundwork for what you see in Detective, because towards the end she's on this weird team of, kind of thrown together characters.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that J.H. Williams, I mean, art-wise, tough to beat. Steve Epting, though, that's a damn good choice. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited for this book. I know, Toby, we're going to talk about what you want to talk about here for a second, but first...
We do?
Well, yeah, something you want to talk about. But first, We'll talk about a rumor that was going around Bleeding Cool this weekend is that there is all but confirmed Justice League versus Power Rangers comic book coming. DC and IDW have been putting out, DC and Boom Studios have been putting out a ton of books recently, as well as DC and IDW.
Yeah.
There's another Star Trek Green Lantern one coming, right?
Yeah, and another Batman Turtles.
Yeah.
This time.
That animated.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that actually ships
Bruce
really...
Team Batman and the current Turtles?
Yeah. That ships pretty soon, actually. They have the second issue has like Bruce Timm Harley Quinn on the cover too. So
yeah,
that should be a big issue. So not official yet, but Justice League Power Rangers makes the most sense in the world to do a crossover with. And I love seeing DC reach out.
It's as awesome as Star Trek X-Men back in the day.
That was good stuff. It's so weird to see.
Art was fantastic.
It's weird to see DC doing all these and Marvel just doesn't. They had that Attack on Titan thing, but that was just a little promo.
That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't actually. It's weird to see Marvel not doing this with their characters.
Well, it's just weird that, I don't know. I mean, back in the day, we had all these independent, smaller companies doing it with the bigger ones, but you also had the Marvel DC stuff crossing over on occasion. Not a lot, but it happens, right?
Not pretty regularly.
But now it seems like there's no fucking way Marvel and DC will ever cross.
Yeah, but
they'll cross with some of the smaller companies.
But Marvel and Disney aren't even crossing, which is a little weird.
Yeah.
Because, you look at what DC does, and, yes, they're doing stuff with Boom and IDW, but even within, their Scooby-Doo team-up title, they're always bringing in various characters into that.
Yeah.
Well, they could do something like that with Kingdom Hearts easily.
And that's what I'm saying. It's really surprising that Marvel hasn't really...
I really do think they're in a separate, complete universe.
Well, it's weird to me that there is not a... I was going to say normal. I don't mean manga is not normal, but an American Kingdom Hearts comic book by American talent aimed at an American audience. Because Kingdom Hearts is such a huge franchise with no game for years at this point. Even the handheld ones, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, but they've also been re-releasing those.
They're doing the 2.8s coming pretty soon. Yeah. But how do you not have a serious, legit Kingdom Hearts comic published?
Well, hopefully when they do Kingdom Hearts 3, they'll have a serious Kingdom Hearts comic.
Yeah. That'd be a huge hit. It's really weird. But Toby, I know you want to talk about the Power Rangers trailer, which premiered this weekend. Did it actually premiere at Comic-Con or at New York Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your take on this? Are you an old school Power Rangers fan?
I'm as old school as in the original ones.
Right. So
not the original, but when I was a kid, I watched the Japanese stuff.
Right.
And I was the only one that knew about it because I grew up in a country of white folks.
What's the... our American...
I go all the way back to...
Because American Power Rangers, the first season is actually...
95 or 94? 95?
What show is that?
It was the dinosaur ones.
Yeah, I can't remember what the actual show was called.
The Zoo Ranger,
Is it Zoo Ranger?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I know there's tons of these.
Yeah, well, they weren't Rangers. They were all Mons.
Right.
My favorite was Five Mon and Life Mon.
Yeah.
Life Mon was the one where I coherently knew what I was watching and what I was into.
Yeah.
Before that, I watched a bunch of the older ones, but, only by passing. I liked it, but,
Yeah, these go back to, the 70s. Right?
Yeah. So, as I was growing up, I had different versions of it. I had robots of different ones.
Yeah.
And, at that point, I just played with the toys, not fully connecting all the dots. But Life Mon was the one I really, really dug. It was they started with 3 and eventually had the team of 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's also helped that they had it on the French channel. So I watched it in Japan, but also had the French channel would also play him along with Superboy for some reason. So it was a very odd... I had Dragon Ball, Saint Seiya, City Hunter, and then goes into live actions, which is Life Mon, Wind Spectre, or before it was G-Bon, and then Superboy at the very end.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was a really... international mix of nerdy shows. I loved them all, but all in French, so I didn't understand a word. So I make my own stories up. So I download these fan subs, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is the story? This is not what I imagined. My story is so much better. No, but then when I moved here, I honestly probably was too old for the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But I liked it because I knew the original stuff, and I was into the original stuff, right? So I liked it kind of maybe a little more distance, as in I watched the show, but I wouldn't tell anybody about it. I'll be honest about it. But I liked it. I liked it when I moved here. It gave me company when I didn't know anybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm fairly excited for this take, actually. I wasn't the biggest fan of that really mature one that was on the internet a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was a good idea. Look, I'm not going to diss it because it was a good idea, and the thought process behind it made sense to me. It's just, to me, that wasn't Power Rangers anymore.
And it had a really good production quality.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was well done. It had a good idea. To me, it just wasn't Power Rangers, but it was well done. So, I mean, I don't have negative things to say about it. It's just, it's not my Power Rangers, right? But this one, it's like John Hughes meets like Chronicle. And I know I hated Chronicle, but fuck, man, this works for Power Rangers for me. So I'm excited.
So I have a question for you, because we had this conversation last
night. That Breaking Bad is like in there? Breaking Bad?
Huh?
Bryan Cranston?
Oh, no. So we had this conversation.
He's in the original American one.
Right,
He's going to be
right.
in this movie.
We had a conversation in the Geek Box, so you won't hear this for the Geek Box part of this for a day or two. But how long until they are just full-on Power Rangers kicking ass? Because I feel like this Power Rangers has never stopped. It's kind of like Pokemon. It's always been there, bubbling under the surface. The kids who grew up on it are now adults.
Now, the Japanese one, I actually think they get... I don't understand... I never made the connection between these shows.
Yeah.
To me, it's like a rebooted show, and
right.
Occasionally they cross over. I never knew how, but they did, right? But there were separate characters, separate stories, separate beginnings almost.
Right.
So in ways they're like Doctor Who-ish, but I don't know if they actually were connected the entire time.
Right.
Because there were crossover episodes because I had Japanese picture books and there's pictures and there was commercials on TV, but I never seen those for myself.
Yeah.
Someone else that...
Yeah, I've seen very, very little of the original stuff.
I can't stand the newer ones. I recently looked some of it up online, and they have so much CG in it, it doesn't look right to me anymore. The old school ones were like masks and
I love it.
Kicking each other's asses like in real life, right? I was like, I love that stuff.
So my this conversation we had was basically, this is going to be the origin of the Power Rangers. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to redo it, but man, I don't want 90 minutes of them out of costume, walking around doing nothing. And
you don't want a Chronicle?
And then
you don't want a Fantastic Four?
And then one big fight at the end. I really don't. I want them in costumes, kicking ass within like 30 minutes of this movie, because I think people know what the Power Rangers are. And so I'm curious if you think that teaser is the whole movie, or if that's just...
I think that's half the movie.
It's just the start.
I think that's half the movie.
I really don't
I actually would not mind a full-on Power Rangers origin movie. I really don't care. If it's done right, fuck it, I'll watch it. I talked to you about the Fantastic Four movie, the one that everybody hates.
Yeah.
Up to a certain point, I'm like, fuck this. I don't need them to be fantastic anymore. I'll watch 2 hours of this shit.
I thought the first 30 minutes were okay.
I liked the first hour. Yeah, but, if they ended the movie with them becoming Fantastic Four, I would have been perfectly fine. It's just, It was a turn about halfway through the movie where I'm like, okay, everything after this kind of went to shit.
I'm concerned by that trailer, or by that, teaser trailer or whatever. I'm concerned that it's going to be, an hour and change, and an hour and 40 minutes of them dicking around doing nothing, and then finally,
I have a feeling it's half the movie.
Now we become and fight the monster, because I want that trailer. I need that trailer that's like, yep, here's the big hat, here's the big fight battle.
Yeah, and I think that they did this on purpose. Yeah. I mean, you don't even see them in full costume.
Right, they tease it at the very end.
Yeah.
So there's still a while out. They're working on it.
I'm really looking forward to this now.
I hope it's cool. Again, I'm not a huge fan. I've seen very little of the Japanese and very little of the American, but I'll go see it.
I'm really excited.
Especially if it's, if they played up a little more. I don't want to say adults, but a little more.
Look, I say I'm excited now, and the movie comes out, I might come back and no, it's horseshit. Yeah, but for now, I'm really genuinely excited about it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's move on to something I'm genuinely excited about here. That's the Justice League vs. Suicide Squad crossover starting in December, which we completely got all our information wrong, as is normal for this podcast, a couple weeks ago when we were talking about it. They actually officially announced that it is going down. It's $3.99 an issue, not $4.99. So
awesome.
That's awesome for 40 pages, especially. And there are no crossovers as far as December goes. So there's, I believe, just the crossovers in January.
So just doing the one shots.
It's 6 issues plus, I believe, the 2 issues of Justice League and 2 issues of Suicide Squad. Although they'll confirm that in the next week or two when solicitations go up. So it should only be 10 issues. But man, I'm excited. Mm-hmm. And
from what I've read of Monster Man, it's been really, really good and smooth going into it. So.
Yeah, Monster Man's been fine. Yeah, I mean, the squad thing, they've been they're already kind of building up with Batman and Amanda Waller. So I'll be curious what they do with that. Now, a few people did point out that on the officially released cover for #1, that a certain character is on the cover that we all knew wasn't really dead, but it's good to get confirmation that Captain Boomerang will more than likely be around by the time this comes out.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. But I love my Boomer.
They'll go, this story is told before the events that happened in Suicide Squad number 2.
No, God, fuck no, please don't. I really hope they don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But it looks cool. It looks fun, and this is kind of the first big event book for Rebirth. So I'm very, very excited for that. Now for Bryce's favorite comic news of the week, Miss America Chavez is getting her own comic book. America #1 again announced at New York Comic Con. I'm kind of just trolling there. Cool.
You can put that on the orders of Solo and...
Yeah. I'm genuinely excited for that, too.
I hope it's good.
She's the best part out of those Young Avengers so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they did better. I like the original run by Alan Heinberg, and then I feel like they kind of lost their footing, and then she kind of got added.
The Kieran Gillen, I did not.
Yeah.
That run did nothing for me.
Yeah. But I really do like that character. I sort of wish he had a different name, but that's my favorite character out of the team right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like she could carry her own book and do well.
If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know what I feel about these recent Marvel books. But for a less biased opinion, if you're a fan of The Big Bang on Twitter, no relation to the show, thank fucking Christ, there is good guys over there, John Bruno and JP and all those guys. They do a weekly sales article on Monday on their Twitter account that says, here's what we sold over the week. And they talked about Champions, kind of, and I mentioned this last week, Champions, Jessica Jones.
I flipped through that book. I think it's kind of cool.
Champions?
Yeah.
I heard it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
But it sold like shit.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Everywhere.
Here's the thing. Like, I kind of like some of the pillars of Marvel to be back. I don't mind some of these filling characters, but for so long, I do want the pillars to be back.
Yep.
But I do want these side books, though. I do want Champions to exist.
Champions is 100% New Warriors #1.
Yeah,
with different characters.
I do want an America Chavez book. I like these side books because that's always what I like more. But these don't work as well if they're the pillars.
Yep.
Right? So you need the pillars to be around for these other books to exist.
I love Doom Patrol, and I love Shade the Changing Girl, and I love the fact that they're doing all this crazy crap, and I love what else did DC just do? They did that Deadman comic that came out last week, but Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Flash, those have to be working for that other stuff to have a chance.
Yeah.
And because of those other books are selling so well, I sold more copies of Doom Patrol than any Marvel comic short of Civil War for the last, 6 months, right? That's crazy. Crazy talk.
Yeah.
Has there been a time where I ordered like 10 times what I thought we need and we sold out. It's ridiculous.
And it also seems like when the pillars are strong, that these side characters get to stick around longer, too. They don't get cut off like at 6 issues.
We're also getting that. We also last week got the Death Hawkman.
Yeah, but that didn't sell too great. But
again, you're going to have the ones that sell okay, and
you're
going to have the ones that sell poor, and
So with that comic store, Dumbblood Big Bang, they did a nice breakdown of the sales, and Jessica Jones sold really well for them, and it sold pretty good for us too. But they mentioned pretty much the same thing they did. They had a huge number down for Champions. They cut it like hell because they weren't actually getting people signing up for it. They had very few people physically subscribe for this comic. So what they cut it, I don't know, maybe half, and it sold terrible at that half that they ordered. Now, it could sell over the course of the next few weeks, right? Good word of mouth, blah, blah, blah. But the problem here is we order these books a month, 2 months in advance. We have 3 weeks to adjust our orders. I'm looking at, again, we have Solo. What's out this week? Solo,
Great Lake Avengers.
Great Lake Avengers, and the other guy, Mosaic, right? Yeah. And I'm looking at these books going, oh, these are dead. These are going to die on the wall.
That's okay. People can just buy the nice, thick Samurai Jack omnibus.
It's nice.
Yeah.
They're dead on the Great Lake, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I've already started slashing my orders on future books and the issues 2, 3, 4 because I have beyond zero faith based off the sale of Champions from last week.
Has anybody asked to be put on Champions?
2 subscribers.
But that's 2 from the day
before.
From before.
Yeah.
Has anyone asked to be put on since?
No. Solo, none. Mosaic, I think I have one person sign up for it. I just don't have people signing up for these titles at all. Batman.
So that means we go to issue 6 and they're going away.
Well,
no, Marvel will limp these out for 18 issues or something.
Yeah, but
Champions just came out, meaning hopefully somebody will come back tomorrow who bought Champions last Wednesday and asked to have it added tomorrow.
So I know what I ordered for Champions number 2, and it's, I basically ordered what I sold of number 1. Meaning if every single person within the week bought it week 1 comes by and buys issue 2, I will sell out. I do not expect I will sell out. And it's a pretty low number. So we'll see. I've sold 0 since. I think I sold one
bad,
Saturday
because I seriously,
or
I
Sunday.
flip through. I'm like, this might be something up my alley. It's New Warriors 3.0, 4.0, whatever you want to call it.
How did Cage sell?
Okay. Yeah. A lot of people bought that Run the Jewels variant. I think because it's the variant.
Yeah.
I know, again, from other stores, it did not do very well. I think it's a cool side project, but the week a Luke Cage show comes out, you should have normal Luke Cage comic book.
No, this is a Luke Cage comic book you should have.
Well, but you understand, right?
I
understand. Is a very quirky title.
I understand that Charlie really likes 70s just... culture.
No, he likes
No, I like Gendy Terezovsky.
Thank you. I can never pronounce the guy's name. So it's a cool idea to have when you have a successful traditional Luke Cage comic book. That's
okay. You can read Luke Cage and Spider-Man, at least for one issue.
Well, it's Bendis, so of course Luke Cage, Spider-Woman, Jessica Jones.
Exactly.
He's at the end of Jessica Jones issue 1.
His 9 characters that he ever writes are in it. So this is a long way. Okay, again, this has tangentially nothing, a little bit to do with America, Miss America Chavez getting her own comic series here. But this is again the thought process here. These books are doomed to failure from the start because of this limp launch of Marvel Now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a real rough couple months. That's all I think. Speaking of
rough couple of months.
Speaking of rough couple months coming up here, we do have confirmation that yes, of course, as we knew last week, Rich Rider is coming back for Nova, but we also have unfortunate confirmation that stupid shit Sam Alexander Nova is going to be the sidekick or whatever you have, maybe the main character, and Rich is kind of the background character of the new Nova series, meaning my banning of books called Nova continues once again, as I own every single appearance of Nova, to the best of my knowledge, up till his death, and 0 since. It really, really sucks.
You're not going to pick up the new one?
What's that?
You're not going to pick up the new one?
No, I will read the first issue, and if it's as bad as every other book with that asshole Sam Alexander, I hate this. I hate this character on a level that I cannot say on this podcast.
Please do. It's all right. We have an explicit mark.
I hate this other Nova kid. And now you can have Green Lantern Corps, right? Mm-hmm. You can replace Hal with anything, and I don't care, right? And the Nova Corps, set up kind of similar. There's been a replacement Novas. There's been other Novas. There's been Nova Prime. All fine. This shit kid, I hate. Because it's just the continuation of Marvel's just the bullshit they've been doing with all these other books. So they finally got one character that I like. He actually may be the start. He kind of predates the big push at Marvel for the changes they made over the last couple of years. He's right there at the beginning. I'm going to blame all this on Sam Alexander because why not? I hate him. I hate this character. They could have been literally like any other person, any other character I think could have been made as Nova, and I would have been like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Oh, Richards has been back. Awesome. This is neat, right? I hate this fucking kid.
Does he remind himself too much of yourself, and that's why there's such big disgust?
No, it's
just some other psychological things going on.
Now I know Charlie's going to get mad at me again here, right? It's just the worst Jeff Loeb garbage that he
Why am I going to get mad at you
love
for...
Jeff Loeb.
No, I don't.
I thought you loved Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb.
You loved Jeff Loeb
before.
My theory after Jeff Loeb moved to Marvel is that DC sent him there to just tank every comic he touched.
Well, he's doing a very good job of it, so he's tanked the company pretty well. So,
no, but
trash.
No, I'm just amused at the fact that I kind of feel like Marvel gave you what you wanted and then figured out a way to ruin it.
Fuck me. I know. It's like, hey, Speedball's back. He's Penance. Hey, Nova's back with Sam Alexander. Fuck. It's like, I guarantee you this is on purpose. I guarantee you this is on purpose. Every couple of years.
I wonder which one of your high school friends graduated across the street and is working at Marvel now and going, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, in 5 years I'm going to do this, in another 6 years, Speedball's going to have no clothes. And...
Now, Brock, you've been a big Marvel Nova backer here. You've been a big Dick Rider. What's your... Are you picking this up? Or?
I'll read it, but I'm not... have I bought a single-issue Marvel comic in how long?
I
think it's 6 years. It's... I don't care. Like, I buy the trades when they come out, but I don't care.
So
but what do I buy in trade? Ant-Man by Nick Spencer.
Yeah.
The nice, the nice Star Wars hardcovers, the oversized ones that come out. Like, I'll get the Tom King Vision when it's collected.
Yeah.
Not in 2 random skinny trades.
Yeah.
So
same here.
I mean, I'll read it, but Guardians is. I mean, I was really enjoying Nova from all the Guardian stuff, around Annihilation, all that stuff. And it's just, Bendis is tanking Guardians bad. I haven't even touched the Star-Lord relaunch book.
No.
Charlie looked up when he said that.
Well,
he has something to say.
I didn't really care about the Star-Lord spin-off book. I think I read 1 issue of that and went, no. But I mean...
for the record, we will not be doing episodes reviewing all the Marvel #1s because they've...
No.
It would be
stop. Give them a moment to rejoice.
It would be every other month. We'd be talking about every Marvel #1. Like, and I don't want this hate fest to continue. Like, we'll talk about books occasionally when they're decent, but that's it.
Can we talk about how there's a comics conspiracy version of the Amazing Spider-Man right now and all the
clone conspiracy?
Yeah. Seriously, from the side, it so looks like Amazing Spider-Man. The comic conspiracies.
It's close.
It's very close.
Yeah.
If you look fast, it totally says comics conspiracy.
So,
I just love the fact that it says Dead No More above it.
Yeah.
Dead No More. Comics conspiracy. Break in, but you will not break us.
Dead No More, the clone conspiracy. It's like, pick one name, people, please. So clone conspiracy starts this week. The last couple issues of Spider-Man have been fine. It hasn't been the shit show the first part of this run's been. But, we'll see where this event goes. No spoilers because the book doesn't come out till tomorrow. But you have 2 guesses who the 2 characters that are cloned to return, and you get 1 guess for each character, and you will guess it correctly both times.
Ben Reilly.
Okay, most people will correct a guess.
What do you mean? That's the only person that has to come back.
Most people will guess it correctly.
The only person that matters to come back.
Yeah, not for most fans.
What? What are you talking about? Who else do we need to bring back? From the clone thing.
It's not from the clone thing. So comic book stores. So
Gwen Stacy?
We've been doing okay here at Comics Conspiracy over the years. The store's been doing all right. It's as DC Rebirth has been a massive success, and due to the weak start of the year for Marvel and DC, coming into Rebirth, just the juggernaut that it's been. They at the retailer luncheon they had it at New York Comic Con. They officially announced that comic book sales are now officially up for the year. Comics. Both dollar and unit graphic novels are up a little bit, down a little bit unit-wise, but up a little bit just because things were a little more expensive. And the total, 2.65% growth year-to-year dollar-wise, 1.39% growth unit-wise, which is fantastic, as well as a 3.6% growth for comic book stores, which means there's a hell of a lot of comics. Every year there's been like a 3 to 4% growth for comic stores. A lot of new comic stores. I mean, it sounds small, but that's, when you consider there's 4,000 some odd accounts, you're talking 40, 50 new comic stores, right? A year, like that's accounts. That's a good number of accounts.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much of them are actually physical locations.
Don't know. I would assume a lot of them. But yeah, it's hard to tell. Toby's gonna go look for his Amazing Spider-Man spoilers.
Don't fucking Ben Reilly.
Don't spoil it for us, or don't spoil it for the listeners. They'll know. They'll know tomorrow. They probably already know. I'm sure it's all spoiled all over the internet. And we have one last little bit of comic news from New York Comic Con here that on top. Well, actually, two parts. The first part is that Valiant is debuting their live action, independently made. Well, I guess it's just a trailer is all they've had so far. I don't. Toby, is that trailer an actual trailer from stuff they did, or is that a trailer shot? Just that trailer was shot. Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But I would suppose it's actually stuff they're working on.
Okay. Yeah, there's a 6-part web series coming out called Ninjak vs. the Valiant Universe, which the trailer looks okay. It looks kind of cheap web series, low budget.
That's what
kinda,
it is, though. It's like, it actually looks really great.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's a step up from a fan film. It's not quite. It's not sci-fi level, sci-fi channel level.
I mean, like,
well, there's not a Sharknado in it, so
yeah,
you got to compare it to like the Mortal Kombat web series.
So you watched that,
yeah?
How did you like that Mortal Kombat series?
I liked it quite a bit.
Okay, for what it was,
you could tell that they ran out of money eventually because they started going into cartoon form.
Were they like $5 or something? Or $5? Jeez, what is wrong with me today? 5 minutes or so episodes? Okay.
Yeah, they were short.
Yeah,
I actually, dude. I mean, look, some episodes were kind of cheesy, but there were some episodes where I'm like, this is really good. I mean, sure, production values are maybe a little low, but some of the ideas were really strong behind some of the stuff they were doing.
Yeah, so according to this, it's going to be a 15-minute premiere and then 6-minute episodes past that.
Yeah, it's totally a web series.
Yeah.
With like no money to make it, right?
Yeah.
So, from what I hear, it's the guys that do the superhero beatdowns. With the cosplayers, like where they fight each other, like the little imaginary and Bat in the Sun productions.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of stuff online, like fan filmish already. So now they get a shot at doing legit work. So why not? I'm all for it. I mean, basically every filmmaker's dream to move from fan films to do something legit. So more power to them.
So Ninjak is being played by Michael Rowe, who was Deadshot on Arrow and Flash. Jason David Frank from Power Rangers. He's Bloodshot. He's which one's he?
Green Ranger.
Is he Green Ranger? Okay.
He became an MMA fighter.
Yeah. So again, it looks. I hope it's cool.
I mean, look, it's not going to look like a Netflix show.
Good for them for trying.
TV. It's not going to be a movie.
Right.
But it is what it is. I mean, like I said, comparable to the Mortal Kombat web series.
Right.
That's all. I mean, you get some actors in there, but
yeah.
Yeah.
No, a while ago they said that they got some deal for some big Chinese company that was going to pay them a bunch of money to do a bunch of movies.
I don't know that, so maybe there's some money involved, but I don't know. For now, it looks like, fan filmmakers have been given a little bit of budget to go do some legit work.
Right.
Which is technically what happened to the Mortal Kombat thing, right? The dude made
it was like a trailer,
film.
right? Or a short film?
No, he made a short film with some of his friends, which happened to be Michael J. White and 7 of 9.
Yeah.
But he did that on his own completely, and then, they came back going, hey, here's a budget.
Yeah.
Go make us a season. And I think they went second season, didn't they? I think they went 2 seasons.
I don't know, but...
Yeah. And, so they got 2 seasons out of him, but they were promising him a movie at the end, and they didn't fulfill that, which kind of sucks for the guy that was working on the web show. But I think it's cool. Look, in an age where we have YouTube videos, why not?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's a new audience, and if it gets a few people reading comics, that's awesome.
YouTube has their own content that they're putting out now.
Yeah, the YouTube Red stuff. Yeah, I don't know how well that's doing, but I have no idea. So on topic of Valiant here, they actually have a pretty cool thing. They started up. We are one of a number of select stores that are participating in this, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know how this works for people that aren't local. I assume you have to be local to do this. I don't actually know, though. You can win a free Valiant comic subscription for every comic they publish for a year. And you can win that through us.
Cool.
I think
neat.
You have to be local because of the way they say this in the settings here. So if you're local here, you can do this. If you're not, maybe ask them if you're a mail order subscriber or what. I don't know. We'll figure this out. Anyway, this is part of their Harbinger Renegades. It was a new comic they have coming up. It's a contest for that. You basically, between October 24th and November 16th, you have to take yourself, a photo of yourself with your pull list and your retailer, like when you're subscribing.
Like with you?
With me or the store or something, right?
We should designate Herbie as the retailer.
There you go.
That way they can take a picture.
You have to post it to Valiant Entertainment on Instagram. And you have to use the retailer's name. And
how do you show the pull list? Just a printout?
I guess just however you're...
So what if it's like all Marvel and DC stuff and no Valiant book?
Well, no, you have to subscribe to Harbinger Renegade.
Oh, yeah, right. I was going to say, it would be kind of embarrassing.
No, you have to subscribe to this book for Harbinger Renegades. So kind of mocking, like, I am subscribing to this title, right?
Okay.
And then you have to use the retailer's name, which would be Comics Conspiracy, or Twitter
with
handle.
With
the hashtag #WinHarbinger. Also, the week Harbinger Renegades #1 comes out November 16th. You also, once again, have to... you can enter a second time on that day. So they'll take their first entry and then a second entry actually on the 16th. If
they show a receipt of actually buying it?
Probably, something like that. Yeah, I mean, again, you have to be in store to do this. So, Brock, employees are not
Son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Since I've been fired or quit, I could still include myself, right?
Winners will be picked at random 1 week after it's released, and you'll be alerted via Instagram. You can pick up your prizes here at the comic shop. You'll receive a copy of Valiant's monthly comics for 1 year in their pull box at their local comic shop.
That's cool.
It's about $400 value. So, yeah, it seems like something you got to kind of be local for.
Yeah, but that's cool, though.
But, yeah.
Hey, so I'm flipping through this clone conspiracy thingy. Not the comics conspiracy, but the clone one. And I am correct about one of my guesses.
Are you?
Yeah?
Yeah, well...
But where the fuck is Ben?
Well, that's a spoiler. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. We'll see. Who knows?
I want my Ben back.
I'm sure he'll be back at some point.
I want my Ben back.
Yes, you do. All right, what else we got to talk about this week? I think we got some questions.
That must be the guy that loves the worst characters ever.
Have you met me?
We're doing questions.
Oh, yeah, yours are worse. Never mind. I'm the guy that likes the second to worst character.
We all like terrible characters. Cable, Gambit.
Gambit is awesome. He's not terrible. Nightwing is awesome. He's not terrible. I'll give you all the other ones that are terrible.
Bryce is supposed to be here for a quick cameo, but maybe he's running late. I don't know what's going on. We'll see. Wait. Sorry. No, not time for questions yet because we have to talk about Arrow and Flash premiere.
Oh, that's right.
Brock, sorry.
I'm going to go smoke.
You okay for a little spoilers? Yeah.
No, I'm going to go smoke.
No Supergirl talk. I did not get a chance to watch it. And it's kind of a two-parter, you guys were saying?
It's what I believe it is. It's not a two-parter, but a double Tyler episode of Superman.
They leave it open for more Superman next episode.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the teaser picture that happened today?
Yeah.
Or I think that happened today.
I did, yeah.
Mighty excited.
The crisis shot.
Yeah, mighty excited.
I didn't.
No.
Yeah, it could be just a picture of him carrying her, but I'm mighty excited.
Anyway, let's start with Flash, because that was actually the first one back. Flash came back, season 3. We have Barry fully in this new universe he's created. It's all happy for him. Except, we are going to kind of talk spoilers here, so skip ahead if you don't want to hear this.
It started all happy for him.
It started all right. He's there. His parents are alive. He's not with Iris, but he's trying to kind of pick up on her. But slowly, as time is going on, he's getting these weird visions and flashes of the correct world.
Oh, I know. The way I was looking at or thought of it as was he was losing those memories.
Yeah, as he was recalling certain memories, they were
going away.
Yeah,
right,
that's how I saw it. Yeah.
As he's settling into this world, and it's like
that he's erasing his other reality.
It's hurting him when this happens too. We also have Kid Flash running around with an old Jay Garrick villain rival, so kind of evil speedster running around there. We have the Wally West from the Flash show. He's running around. His Kid Flash costume looked okay.
Yeah. No, I thought it looked good.
Yeah, I don't think it looks quite as good as Flash's costume, but
the headpiece, then kind of a little tighter.
The headpiece is a little weird looking.
Yeah, I think once they make it a little tighter, we'll be all good to go. Yeah, but I have a feeling that's the next season.
How long it will be before the costume shows back up?
Oh, soon I assume.
Well, he didn't lose his powers. Not in this universe. Oh,
well, we don't.
Wait a minute.
Well, so as the episode goes on, Barry goes to Reverse Flash, who's Abad Thawne, who's back, who he's had captured. And he says, "Hey, look, I can't do this. I messed up. You have to go back and kill my mom. So let's think about this for a second here. We have Kid Barry with his mom there. And sometime in the future Barry Allen, adult Barry Allen, like very adult Barry Allen, and Eobard Thawne go back in time, and he kills Barry's mom.
And then Barry grabs Kid Barry and takes him away.
Right.
Adult Barry.
Then you have Barry from first season.
Yeah, end of the first season.
Goes back and is there stopping Thawne, or trying to stop Thawne from killing his mom.
Well, choosing not to stop Thawne.
Right, he's going to try, but he doesn't. Then you have another Barry who's also there.
From the end of season 2.
From the end of season 2, who goes back to stop his mom from dying.
Wiping out the other Barry.
The other Barry. So there's 4 Barry Allens in that scene. And now a second Reverse Flash goes back. It's like, my brain.
Don't ever let Doc Brown figure this one out. He will just go nuts.
Great Scott. No, I was trying to wrap my head around this.
Can you imagine him doing a graph on this? Like, there's reality in this
they
one.
Fucked the reality of Flash. Oh my god, it's so good. But awesome stuff. So he goes back, but when the world is reformed, unfortunately, things are not all back to normal, as Iris is estranged from her father and not with Barry, and not on the Scooby Gang. So it's kind of how...
we don't know what other changes have happened, just because all you really get at the end is Wally, Joe, and Barry.
Right. So people know now what happens next, because the episode just started airing here on the West Coast as we record, but we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks. So, good starter. Interesting episode.
Did you watch the trailer they put out for Legends recently?
I didn't watch that yet. I heard it's really good.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just kind of holding off because I'm super excited for the second season. I figure I'm going to give it a little...
Okay.
I had to, first season wasn't perfect.
I won't spoil anything.
First season wasn't perfect.
I get the message, Ryan.
Yeah, well, Ryan already knows some of the stuff because... Wait, did I talk to you with the actor, or was it with Lord?
I don't know. I mean, I know some stuff, but I don't know. I don't think you talked to me about this.
Okay.
But I mean, I know some stuff that's going on, but I don't know everything.
Let's all talk in riddles so nobody knows what we're talking about. The stuff about the stuff.
So compared to Flash last season, how would you guys think of the opener? I thought it was a little low on the villain end, but intriguing as always.
So I thought the opener was good. I was hoping for a little more Flashpoint in my Flashpoint, but that was good.
Well, I assume Flashpoint is I kind of think it's like the new world, right? I mean, it's weird that they do this. It's not really Flashpoint. It has nothing to do with Flashpoint. It's just a weird alternate reality stuck in for an episode.
Yeah, and this seems to be the new reality going forward. It doesn't seem to be like he's going to revert it somehow.
Barry from third season can go back to when he was being attacked by Eobard Thawne from future version of him when he goes to kill his mom, and he could stop the second Eobard Thawne from killing time travel.
No, I'm actually just too busy going, no, he can just go back in time and wipe out all of season 2.
Yeah. Never fucking ends. So
did you ever see that meme? Well, Big Bang Theory, of everybody dressed up as the Flash, and they're saying, they're just the Flash finale because it's all the berries at the same place. I thought that was hilarious. I know you don't like that stuff, but I thought it was hilarious.
Toby, what do you think of Flash?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I like, I think, some of the other stuff a little better, but look, I'm looking forward to it, and anything goes at this point because they're in their separate little bubble at this point, right?
Yep.
So, I think decent start.
I think part of the reason I was disappointed compared to sort of the normal Flashpoint is you got a very brief look at what that world was like, and from a very small little space, like you don't really know how everything sort of played out within that revised reality. You'd never really see Wells. You never really get a sense of what happened with Oliver or anybody in another It was just such a sort of bubble that it wasn't like, how did we change the DC universe? It was more, how did we change this one part of this city?
Right.
Yeah. I can't wait for Dawson's Creek's daddy to be Jay Garrick, though. That's going to be so awesome. So awesome.
Now, with Arrow, I actually thought this was a pretty good first episode because they've had the last have not been the best.
One issue with it.
What's that?
The killing people again.
Well, we'll get to that. So, Arrow's had a rough season or two. Good moments, but kind of weak overall. I feel that they getting back to their roots, no magic, no weird shit, just fighting normal-ass criminals on the ground, getting a few other kids in there, getting Wild Dog in there, vigilantes on the screen. I don't know who those other characters are.
Is Wild Dog a real DC character?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With a hockey mask and everything?
Yeah.
So he's a Casey Jones ripoff?
He's a Casey Jones ripoff, yeah, totally.
Is he really a ripoff?
100%. Yeah.
That's just funny that I brought him into the show.
I don't actually know when he started, but right, because he was Casey Jones.
Yeah, it's really funny when he's facing himself.
Yeah, so I don't know. I assume Wild Dog is post Casey Jones. He has to be. But I actually like this episode quite a bit comparatively to your average Arrow episode from the last couple seasons.
It also feels a little fresher with the Scooby Gang kind of disbanded.
Yeah, new team. Yeah. I like that Dia's in it. I like that Diggle gets his bit at the end. Let those characters rest for a couple seasons.
Yeah.
Play with these new guys.
I'm sure Diggle is going to be back this season.
I was going to say...
Well, they've already shown his new helmet and everything, so...
Yeah.
But
they're not going to let it rest for a couple seasons.
Or, I'm sorry, did I say a couple seasons? Let it rest for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Get some new guys in here.
Yeah.
I don't remember the villain's name. I'm blanking on his name off the top of my head. God, I'll have to look it up here. I had the guy's name in my head, now I don't remember.
I don't remember either right now. I'm very, very pro-Fia right now. They cannot get rid of her. They just can't get rid of her. Her Speedy has been growing on me ever since they started with that whole storyline.
Yeah.
And at this point, I was like, do not pull a Black Canary because I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
There might be something about women in Red Letter in movies and shows, a la Scarlet Witch. But man, do not get rid of Fia. She's so awesome at this point.
Tobias Church.
Tobias!
Yeah.
Yes! He's my new favorite Arrow character. Fuck the heroes. I'm all for the villains today. Or this season.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk. I guess Prometheus is supposed to be in this season.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of random characters that are going to show up at some point.
I'm excited for Prometheus.
Yeah. So I actually don't know, is Tobias Church actually supposed to be a character? Because I know when I was looking this up the other day. Let me see if I can find what's
my new name on the podcast will be Toby Church.
Tobias Whale. Do you know that villain?
No, but he's the best ever.
Because his name is Tobias Whale.
Yeah,
he's a villain from Black Lightning. I don't know if this is supposed to
be... Black Lightning. I love Black Lightning.
I don't know if this is supposed to be the same person. I don't actually know. I would think maybe. But this is just kind of like a normal version of this character. So I don't actually know if this guy, Tobias Church, is not a character that I'm familiar with.
That's fine. He's going to be the greatest villain of all time.
But I like him because he's just down to earth. It's my favorite episodes in the last couple seasons was
the fucking Juggernaut guy.
Exactly. Yeah, the couple episodes with Brick. That was awesome. He was such an awesome villain.
What's his real name?
And then he just sort of gets thrown to the side.
He was freaking awesome. I loved him.
Of course, you do have sort of if you're into the romance aspect of this, we have the official breakup of Ollie.
All that
Felicity
romance shit
here.
needs to fucking go, dude.
Because Felicity's
Wait, they broke up again.
Felicity's got a new beau.
Well, they didn't get back together.
Yeah. Right. Well, they're officially gone now because she's got a mysterious
CW bullshit that needs to go. Let's just kick some fucking ass.
Mysterious new boyfriend. So.
Yeah.
I was talking about the Power Rangers.
Tobias kicks everybody's ass.
I don't want random. Let's talk about our superpowers. I just want the Power Rangers to kick ass in the movie.
No, but Power Rangers, John Hughes. I can see that connection. That's fine. That's a good a layer that the Power Rangers never happy for because they really do put on their suits and make poses and kick some ass.
I understand.
So I watch a lot of these shows with Dave on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Yes,
and the amount of times I apologized for the quote-unquote Smallville effect has been very minor on these shows, but there have been a couple.
For these couple
for Arrow
this season?
Or
well,
Flash?
It's just when he and I used to watch Smallville, he got super tired of these characters get together. Clark gets under red kryptonite. They break up by the end of the episode.
Yeah, I hate fucking Delana shit is the biggest cocktease in fucking history.
I hate that show was so good when Lana left and they brought in Lois.
Yeah, it was so much better.
So much better.
Biggest cocktease
but
ever.
there was definitely 2 seasons that dragged on.
Two? I say like 5 or 6.
5 and 6 were real rough.
No, I'm saying 5 or 6 seasons out of the 10 were real rough.
So we got a question here on Facebook. I'm going to read this right here. This is from our good friend here. Before we move on, this is from our good friend Lane. He says, I want to hear Bryce Larsen's dream team creators for Marvel Rebirth. What is Bryce's dream team creators for Marvel Rebirth? Who would like to answer? How about Bryce Larsen?
Can we get a clone conspiracy up in this mother clucker for Tom King
Toby was trying,
and Jim Lee?
Toby was trying to spoil Clone Conspiracy earlier, and I think he successfully did.
How dare you?
Ryan was like, oh, everybody knows what's happening.
Everyone knows. Everyone already knows.
2 of these characters coming back, and I'm like, Ben Reilly, and that fucker just laughed in my face.
Is that not...
Are you going to laugh in my face, too?
Give me, Bryce, I know your time here is limited. Give me your Marvel Rebirth. This actually is a question from Lane. He wants to know your Marvel Rebirth dream teams.
Lane, that is a great question, my friend. Let me just tell you that is a question that I need more than 12 seconds preparation for. Okay, so I want...
okay, let me a little preference here.
David Finch and Scott Snyder on Deadpool.
Little preface for you here. Hold on,
anybody
Bryce.
Can pull him out of the fire.
Marvel Rebirth DC Rebirth was mostly people that worked for DC, but a few new talent. So, and a few people that had not worked for them, and a couple of returning talent. So grab a couple people that are at Marvel currently, a couple people that have never worked for Marvel, and then a couple people return to Marvel.
Okay, that's not complicated or difficult. So, let me say that the people that I want to stay at Marvel, I want Mark Waid to stay on a solo book. Who do I want to...
Solo's out this week. I think it's Jerry Dugan's writing it.
Wah, wah, wah. Damn you. Okay, well, in any case, I want Mark Waid on Squirrel Girl. Said nobody ever. Okay,
Put
no.
Mark Waid back on Daredevil.
Sure, yeah, okay. So this is, by the way, Marvel Rebirth instead of any all new, all different marketing. In which case, is it good?
Marvel
because
Rebirth,
I'm not used to that.
Marvel Rebirth is dump all the bullshit, get back to your base characters.
Oh,
Yeah, you can call it all new, all different Marvel Rebirth.
okay.
All new, all good Marvel Rebirth.
All new, although who knows if I trust him. Okay, so I want Mark Waid. Yes, I want... Okay, Dream Team. Okay, I want Bendis and Bagley on The Amazing Spider-Man. I want Dan Slott on something new. I want Dan Slott on Daredevil. I
can actually see that. I can see that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would be fun.
Okay, all right. I want... Let's see here. Who are the other... Okay, I want Fabian Nicieza on any Avengers
Back on
title.
Thunderbolts, please. Back on Thunderbolts, please. Please.
Oh, man, Thunderbolts, that's such a... oh, man, that's just such a... I feel like it's like half lost cause.
He had an OG Thunderbolts. He had a great run.
It was a great run, but it was only great because of his run in the 90s with all the X titles. I mean, like, it was just basically... I mean, that was really an X title without the X in it because that was so played out.
Niciez's run on Thunderbolts was not as good as Kurt Busiek's, but it was a very solid continuation.
So what are the rules? Can I pick 80s and 90s Chris Claremont, or do I have to pick Chris Claremont?
It has to be today. Okay, so they took Sam Humphries. They took a couple guys from Marvel. Why don't you take a couple guys from DC? Give me one or two creators from DC and put them on a Marvel title.
Well,
classic Marvel title.
No, that's too easy because I only know two of your creators, and that's because they're the best creators ever, which is Snyder and King.
Take them.
Yeah, okay, so I want Tom King on a little book called Vision. No, just kidding. I actually don't want Tom King to touch Vision ever again.
Yeah.
I want. Okay, let me just look at the wall real quick. I would love. Okay,
no, don't look at the wall. Original characters, classic characters. Don't look at this bullshit wall now.
No. But this wall jogs my memory. I'm definitely not looking at this for inspiration beyond.
We need a Wolverine title. We need a Fantastic Four title.
No, I don't think that.
We need an X-Men title.
I don't think that Snyder or Tom King in their infinite quality and creativity.
Snyder on just base Uncanny X-Men would be solid. Just OG Uncanny X-Men.
I haven't read enough of his Batman stuff to know. Can he do a team book? He can do a dope-ass solo dark book. So, like, I would love, like, a Snyder Moon Knight or, like, a Snyder Doctor Strange.
Put him on Wolverine.
I just don't know if Wolverine's savable, dude. I think that Wolverine's a product of his time.
That's what I mean. OG Wolverine. He's back.
I don't know if there's a place for him right now. There's too much trolling from podcast creators. No, but okay. So Tom King,
I would love the hell out of any of these suggestions. Like, because I want those real things back.
I know. A Marvel Rebirth would be. It's too good to be true. It's too good to be
Tom
true.
King and Guardians.
Okay,
what I really want is a Scott Snyder and. I mean, I could say Jim Lee, but that's like the default answer for anything. I want a Scott Snyder and Ariel Olivetti Cable. That's what I want, is Scott Snyder on Cable.
I'd buy that.
Let's see here. I want Scott Snyder also to be Bendising and doing a bunch of other titles. So I also want him to be doing Karnak and Moon Knight. And I want... Let's see here.
Okay, and the way that Warren Ellis is going to reform Wildstorm, what quirky line of Marvel Comics, like Warren Ellis did with the more obscure X-Men comics, and Wildstorm's not quirky, but it's not the traditional line. What quirky line of comics should Warren Ellis spearhead a relaunch of for Marvel?
Well, it's obviously not Champions. I was just kidding, Champions. I love you, even though I didn't actually
like a set of like 3 titles, 3 connected titles.
Oh, is this like a trick question?
No. I'm curious because that's what he's doing for Wildstorm. So,
dude,
what I would love, and he did that with X-Men.
I would love right now. Oh, wait? Were you suggesting that or guessing that? Because I would love.
He did it with X-Men back in the 90s. He did it with X-Man, Cable. Who else was it? Was it X-Man, X-Force? I can't remember the characters he did.
Yeah,
it with.
but wasn't that like 6 or 12 issues? Like, wasn't
that
like
nothing?
Stuff? And yeah,
but I mean, that's what he does, right?
Counteract was so overrated, by the way.
He comes in for 12 issues, but have him do that now for something.
Okay, what I want is Warren Ellis to do that. If he's actually going to stay on the books for a year or 12 issues, whatever that turns out to be.
All this shit.
Is fucking the Avengers. I think the Avengers need a reboot. Right now, it's like a dog chasing its tail with the movies. It's like, God, we have to have an Ant-Man book now because of the movies, and we have to have a Jessica Jones book because of the TV show, and we have to have 7 Avengers titles. Like, back in the 90s and 2000s, like, the Avengers were just, like, good. They didn't have to have, like, 7 Avengers titles. We had, was it more than 3?
All right, here's the answer.
Well, no, because there was West Coast for in the good old days.
The answer is Warren Ellis needs to resurrect the Midnight Suns line with Ghost Rider, Blade, and a Spirits of Vengeance comic. That's the answer.
Little known fact about Bryce Larsen, I don't like horror movies or anything horror related. So while I appreciate all of that, it was never my jam.
It's not that Warren Ellis writes all 3. It's Warren Ellis oversees them. Brian Wood does Spirits of Vengeance. He does a team-up book. Ellis writes Ghost Rider.
Are Brian Wood and Nick Wood related?
I don't know. And I'm going to give Blade to... I'll give Blade to Sam Humphries. I think he can actually do a straight one. He's usually a little more comedic, but I think he can come back, and I think he can do it a little more straight. He's done some pretty cool, I don't want to say horror, but darker stuff in Green Lanterns. I think he can do it.
I want Dan Didio and JR on Deadpool. Hey,
you may be joking, but did you actually read? I know you didn't. Did you read the the OMAC comic that Didio and I'm blanking on who did the art on that. It was a surprisingly quirky title, and you're not so far off from
Can I request Johns to do the X-Men and relaunch that shit?
Oh God, wouldn't that be the greatest? Wouldn't that just be the greatest?
I mean, I'm rereading his Avengers stuff, and it's not bad.
His Avengers run is pretty solid.
I'm literally, I would be, if you can imagine, speechless.
I'm just really scared because Bryce stood up, and if he's starting to get a boner thinking of this, it's right at my eye level, so it's kind of creepy.
It's going to go in your ear. So, by the way, Uncanny X-Men has actually been legitimately really good. Extraordinary X-Men has been regular good. New X-Men is the hot piece of trash. But Old Man Logan, while not connected, is terrible.
Well,
but like,
you're not going to get X-Men 97 any credit.
Like a Jeff Johns, like not even Jeff Johns level, like somebody that's capable of uniting all those titles under one banner. Like, Scott Snyder has done such great things for Batman in the New 52, even though it wasn't New 52 related. It was just like when his run took place.
Directly from the run on the Flintstones, Mark Russell and Steve Pugh need to do Uncanny X-Men. Because they would know how to fix that shit.
You know what? I think that they're too talented for X-Men. No, I'm serious. I think that the X-Men's problems, they could fix one book.
It would be dark. It would be as dark as hell.
Yeah,
That's what X-Men needs to get back to.
No. X-Men needs a sense of continuity and fun. What they?
Oh, no, it needs that.
The Flintstones.
No. I have your fix. I have your fix for X-Men. You need to get Tomasi on it because his run of Green Lantern Corps was fantastic.
Yeah, you may be right.
Okay.
Tomasi would do a fantastic job with that.
I don't. Agree
And
with you
he does the father-son stuff super good. I would give you that. Tomasi on X-Men. There's your fix.
Okay. I can actually get behind that. Let's see here. Maybe I want the fucking Flintstones creative team on the Cable book because like him going super dark would be maybe what this world deserves and needs, what the city deserves and needs.
Well, we got some questions here from.
I'd like to see Amanda Conner and Justin Palmiotti actually do Deadpool.
They did.
God, the more we talk about this, the more I wish Marvel would rebirth.
Yeah, Palmiotti did Deadpool before Gail Simone or after? I think after Gail Simone's run.
That was at the end.
I'd like to see Gail Simone and Scarlet Witch actually.
I could see her doing an okay job with that. I could see her doing okay. Gail Simone's not doing a lot of comics these days. I don't know what she's doing.
I just don't know if Scarlet Witch has the staying power no matter who writes her. Like,
yeah.
Although
I agree with
would
that.
have said that about Vision, so fuck me.
You know what? I think Gail Simone should do a She-Hulk book.
Oh, that's so cliche of her though. Now,
yeah.
I think she's had like a decade of doing that type of thing.
Yeah.
I think she's good. I just like to see her on a team book. I mean, she's done. She can do good characters, and I mean, it doesn't have to be like a female team book. Just put her on. Just put her on Blue Team X-Men. I mean, just put her on.
I will be down.
A team book because she does character interaction. Her Secret Six, super solid. Yeah. Character interaction, Birds of Prey, Man or Women, doesn't matter. Really good.
Did she do Thunderbolts?
Gail Simone, top 3 Deadpool writer ever.
Yeah, she did around Deadpool. Well, we got a question here. We got some questions here on.
You know who has never mentioned Spider-Woman? Howard the Duck.
Hey, what about
Hawkeye, Hellcat?
Wait, they're actually
Solo Prowler.
Scotty Young on Howard the Duck would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Squirrel Girl.
There is a new character. There was a new comic we didn't talk about that was announced at Comic-Con this week. Deadpool the Duck. Bryce, how many copies should I put you down for that? I'm not joking.
You are joking.
I'm not joking.
Please tell me you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Deadpool the Duck is.
We're probably gonna get Deadpool ham. So
Deadpool ham. That'd be pretty amazing. Yeah.
You are talking out of both sides of your ass right now. That is
so you know how when things are terrible and they just keep going and they wrap back around to being pretty awesome. Deadpool ham could be actually pretty amazing.
Like your DC Universe and Squirrel Girl.
Oh hey. Let's have a question here from Chris on Twitter. He says, "Should I start Arrow with season 1 or watch current season? I've watched Flash, so I've seen the crossover episodes."
Darren, that depends on your digestibility.
How about Chris?
Was it not Darren? Darren, it basically
It's Chris.
It basically rhymes with Chris.
It's close enough.
On what planet?
I think, if you know the characters, I think you can jump in here. I think
Chris.
season 1 and 2 are definitely worth watching. 3 and 4 get a little rough, but if you've got the time, if you work out and you're watching Netflix while a lot of people do that. If you're the type to binge watch shows,
If you're in the middle of your salmon ladder and you want to watch more Arrow, basically Chris and not Darren, and to any Darrens or other people that are listening, coming from not as big a fanboy, if you need a third party opinion, seasons 1 and 2, which is all that I've ever seen, were actually really good. I just ran out of time. So depending on your time schedule, if you have the time, seasons 1 and 2 were actually really good. You might as well start from the beginning.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the time, then just jump in when you can, yo.
Yeah, the current series is pretty good. I got a 2-part question here from Keith. First part is, a while back, you, meaning me, tweeted that Marvel can't seem to make Captain Marvel a thing. Who do you think is Marvel's Wonder Woman? It seems Marvel's strongest female characters are mutants, which puts them in an awkward position. I don't think Marvel has one. I think they have a lot of great female characters, but
I think they've been wanting Captain Marvel to be the Marvel.
It's not.
Sure.
They've been wanting it.
They've been shoehorning her in to be the Wonder Woman forever. But you know what? Depending on whether or not they can make it stick or not, if they keep shoehorning her in, dude, and they put out a movie and they point to all these comics and stuff that she's had, like they're gonna make it happen whether it's successful or not.
7 number ones in 9 creative teams that nobody cares about. Like it doesn't stick though. You can't force this stuff. I mean, dude. It doesn't. I mean,
here we go.
It doesn't matter. They're gonna.
It's still shoehorning with Civil War 2. Even
they're either gonna have a good movie or a bad movie.
Right. Ignore movies. Ignore all that stuff. Because Wonder Woman...
I'll help him out. Put Greg Rucka on it.
Wow. Wonder Woman's popularity was not because of the TV show or movie. She was a popular comic character before any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And her this Trinity idea didn't start till much later. But she was a successful character. Marvel has always struggled with successful single female character books. You have She-Hulk has had great runs, but it's not quite the same. She's kind of a more comedic character in a lot of fashion. Storm, obviously a very, very popular Marvel character, but has never been able to carry a solo series.
The problem with Storm is just, no offense to Storm, she'll always be an X-Men.
Right. Invisible Woman, always a member of the Fantastic Four. The female characters were always created as parts of teams.
The biggest two solo ones are Spider-Woman and She-Hulk, right? She-Hulk is the kind of the fun book, but going back, it's Spider-Woman, but she never was strong.
Well, if you think of characters that were created as solo characters, not characters that were part of a team.
Exactly.
You have She-Hulk. Yeah. Miss Marvel was created solo, but she never clicked.
I would even say that She-Hulk was not even solo because they could never have a She-Hulk book that isn't like Hulk. Her success or failure is because of the Hulk.
Right.
They could never do that.
Right.
So, and if they need to make a splash in mainstream media, they have to have a big budget movie, which is why they can't do Black Widow, which would be the most obvious thing to me. Because her solo movie would be like a spy movie, not a big action movie. So they need like a loud, like action oriented character.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're trying to shoehorn her in.
One of the best comic characters, hands down, is Kitty Pryde, but she's a tough sell for a Wonder Woman villain.
She'll forever be the X-Men.
Right.
Yeah, also to C-list, B-list, C-list. Sorry, Kitty Pryde. Love X-Men. #.
Kitty Pryde is like...
amazing. She's amazing, but she could never carry... You have to think about all of this based on marketing properties.
Well, right. Kitty Pryde is one of, if not the best character Marvel has at Marvel. She is... maybe second only to Peter Parker, and I don't even mean Spider-Man, I mean Peter Parker, for relatable human character. Her powers are not crazy.
Well, she is the audience and the X-Men.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so I think she can never be Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, much like Superman and Batman, are always up on that pedestal. The Marvel doesn't have characters like that. They don't even have a character like Superman. Captain America's closest, but it's not the same.
By the way, I know that I'm going to get a lot of troll comments for this, but I actually think Sentry was awesome. Sentry was
a cool idea.
A great idea.
A great miniseries, not shoving him into Mighty Avengers. And
that's exactly the problem. I'm surprised that I got this far into my argument without any laughter.
No, it was an awesome book when it came out.
He's great in the idea that he is our Superman, but he also has such crazy mind control powers that he made us all forget about him. But at the same time, those mind control powers fucked him in the end. That is great. But yes, no other Superman, and certainly no Wonder Woman. But I've kind of liked. But
that's fine. They don't have to have a Wonder Woman.
That's the thing.
Have their own characters.
The thing is, it's such a slippery slope because I love Marvel because they don't have the gods that DC has.
Well, let's flip it. It. What's DC's Spider-Man? Nightwing?
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
What's DC's?
It's so much easier to
Captain
make
America.
A universe and then make the
Flash
street level people than it is to make the street level universe and add the gods.
I say Flash is Spider-Man.
I agree with Toby more for Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's DC's Captain America?
Flash is as much of a god as fucking Superman or Wonder Woman.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Character-wise, he's pretty close to Peter.
But there isn't really these one-for-one transfers, and so I don't think it's really
well. There's certain characters,
except for Deathstroke being
Deathstroke and Deadpool,
a good proxy of Deadpool.
I think that what it is there's certain characters that are they encompass that. Captain America encompasses that. I mean,
but he.
What was the second question? What was the second character we're moving on?
Well, okay, we can move on.
No, I like this.
Oh, I said, what is DC's Captain America, or who is DC's Captain America?
Captain America.
Dude, just go to Amalgam Comics #1. It's obviously Batman.
And it's not just who is the leader.
That's Superman.
It's not just who is the patriotic one. I mean, it's a combination of all that. These characters are they're more than
characters. They're not copies of each other,
right? And when you ask,
if I had to say who would be close, would be John Stewart.
Well, if you ask,
John Stewart, the Lantern.
That's kind of a weird one.
Well, he's a soldier.
He
has the background. He kind of falls along the lines. He doesn't have necessarily the patriotism that Captain America wears.
Well, that's what I mean. It's tough because you'll never get characters that'll fit one-to-one into other characters. I mean, you could say Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are Scarlet Witch. Jesus, you could say Quicksilver and Flash are similar. But they're not in any way, shape, or form. But not even in powers if you actually know the characters, right?
Shut up.
Namor
and Aquaman are similar, kinda. Yeah. But even that, it's like they're not a one-to-one transfer. There are pretty big differences between these characters. That again,
Cyborg Iron Man.
That traditional comic fans will know. Maybe not just from a visual appearance, but Green Lantern and Nova, right? I mean, there are big differences with those characters, even though one of them is a rip-off from the other.
Sucks.
Yeah, there you go. But the second question here that Keith had was...
shaking his head at me. I had to, Charlie.
The second question Keith had here is, how much of Miss Marvel, the current Miss Marvel series, maybe not the current, but the current iteration of the character, did you try before jumping off? I think the book is transcendent and hits a lot of notes. I read one issue and didn't like it, and I've read one issue of the relaunch and continued to not like it. So, just not my character.
I think I read
no interest.
I think I tried reading the first issue of one of the iterations where she changed her hairstyle like twice in the middle of the. I don't know.
I don't remember. It's not
the one I enjoyed was the Secret Wars one. Like I actually enjoyed Carol in the core or whatever that she was on. But we never got any other issues, so I didn't finish reading it.
So in general, I don't think it's a bad comic at this point. Like I read a few issues and I am actually enjoying her interactions with Miles and some of the other stuff that's going on. So it's just limited reading time means I'm going to prioritize stuff I enjoy more about that book.
Yeah.
All right, other questions.
We got two more. Let's get one from Cisco. He says, now that Superman has successfully transitioned to television from movies, who is the next hero to come from the films to TV?
Batman.
Yeah.
Batman's kind of that golden goose man. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Dude,
he asks Wonder Woman.
Did he specify hero?
No.
It's definitely Harley Quinn this season.
Oh, wow. Sorry. He says hero, yes. But
so exactly what I asked and you said no, and then no.
But DC character.
Okay, so definitely Harley Quinn this season of Arrow. Or, I'm sorry, Gotham. Gotham.
Yeah, isn't that the rumor that What's-Her-Face is going to turn into Harley?
If it's a
or
rumor,
something?
I'm the last to hear about it. I just assume because she's DC's Deadpool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Harley could make that switch pretty good. And there's even talk of her being in like Arrow and Flash of continuing that. Yeah,
and Supergirl.
So.
And
well, I mean,
Happy Meals.
They already backed off once of having her on Arrow.
Yeah.
They what? I'm sorry?
They backed off because of the Suicide Squad movie. She
was in an episode, but only from behind.
So they were setting up to have her come into Arrow, and then they backed off because of the Suicide Squad movie.
Got it. Okay.
That's pretty much Warner Brothers.
With Linda Carter being in Supergirl.
Warner Brothers. The fact that they let Superman be on Supergirl kind of...
That's all Jeff Johns.
Kicks open the door at this point.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy, though.
That's all Jeff Johns.
I want my motherfucking Nightwing.
Wow.
It's possible. I'd love to see it.
If we don't get Batman, I want my Nightwing.
We'll get the whole Batman universe without Batman on it.
Yeah! That'd be my fucking dream!
I mean, that's very likely.
That's my fucking dream.
Such a troll TV show.
Well, we've had a Gotham show, but not the Gotham that's on TV right now.
Biggest troll TV show ever.
Arrow has had both Harley Quinn and Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, on it in the minorest of cameo background roles. Yeah. So I'll be very curious if they don't do something with either of those characters. And finally, I don't think Bryce is ready yet, but definitely a question, because I think, Brock and Charlie may be the only two of us that have read it yet. I know I haven't. It's
but
in my stack.
Cognizant.
It's going to be pretty soon. It's in your stack, too. This is from our good friend Indicator, Craig. He says, Death Vex, issue number 1.
Don't
bad?
You spoil anything.
Bad or painfully bad?
Craig, God damn it.
Painfully boring as shit.
I've heard some not great things about this comic.
Okay,
it's in my read for this weekend.
So is this the story that explains WTF happened to Cyclops?
Yeah.
How much can you tell me without spoiling it? That might be a tall order.
Nothing happens. I mean, it's
so you just fucking spoiled it. That's the fucking worst.
Nothing happens. Like what? Okay, what was the last thing you heard about Cyclops in the Marvel Universe?
He was an egg, or he had an egg.
I don't even remember. He
they were doing the
when was my rant in Uncanny X-Men 700? That was fucking months ago.
600, yeah,
that was like a year.
Garbage tier. No, didn't he have an egg? Didn't he have a phoenix egg?
No, yeah. And my rant, the last time that we saw him, he was being a bitch in Uncanny X-Men, I guess it was 600.
Oh, and he comes out, or 700.
If you're talking about Secret Wars, he was phoenix-powered again, wasn't he?
Right, but he went from that last Uncanny issue.
And he comes out at the White House, and he's like, hey, mutants are great.
Yep. So something crazy at that one that I ranted about, the Uncanny X-Men final issue. And then we didn't see him again until that random Secret Wars issue where he's in the Phoenix Egg. And they're like,
because
he's super fucking powerful because he's in this Phoenix Egg. And we're like, what the what? Phoenix Egg? Super powered? Cyclops? What? And why? And what? And then he dies. Spoiler alert for Secret Wars. And then
everyone dies in Secret Wars, except for the Fantastic Four.
And then, well, not all of them, or all of them.
They're still there.
No, but I thought that Johnny and Ben were on Earth proper.
Yeah, they get kicked back to Earth, but it's
okay. So yes,
Reed
so yes. I'm sorry, you're right. They're all alive, but some of them are basically.
Did the Future Foundation stay there with them?
Yeah,
the kids all with them?
It's not in limbo. What is it? It's like a...
They're God now. They're the gods of the Marvel Universe.
They're sitting outside of the Marvel Universe.
They're like above eternity at this point.
The worst situation ever is if Fox gets control to be the gods of the Marvel Universe. Anyway.
That would be weird if in their contract they can now make a Fantastic Four movie where they just sit around guiding.
But Charlie, did you read Death of X too?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So, well, what happened?
Basically, it's two stories. You see the side with the stuff with Cyclops, and then you see the stuff with the Inhumans. And God, can this Terrigen Mist move any fucking slower?
Well, this was 8 months ago.
This was 8 months ago, but for us, it's been, 3 fucking years that this Terrigen Mist
literally years ago, Higgins and Brock on record, Comics Conspiracy Podcast number, this one minus 24. Oh, God. Oh, what was the event? where the Terrigen Mist happened.
It was like 4 years ago or 3 years ago.
Infinity happened. Brock has called it the fart cloud like 12 times, as if it's funny every time.
Yeah, the white event. I remember that.
No, he called it the white event like 17 times. Anyway, so they both are on record several times saying, "Oh God, just nothing happened in humanity or whatever it's called, Infinity. Nothing happened." Meanwhile, years later, this Terrigen Mist has been covering the Marvel Universe and changing the whole... Like, whether or not you like the Marvel Universe, it's been ultimately changed. Ultimately is correct, but not the word I'm looking for.
You're trying to state that it's changing the landscape of the Marvel Universe by wiping out
the Marvel Universe in most books.
It's perpetually paused the Marvel's universe.
So this Terrigen Mist that apparently hit Muir Island,
I'll give you that,
is caused a bunch of havoc, and now Hank...
Muir Island? Didn't they blow up Muir Island like years ago?
Wait, Muir Island?
Yeah, that's still around?
That's in this book?
Yeah.
Dude, that's another spoiler. I gotta go, dude. I gotta talk. I don't know Muir Island. They didn't blow it up, but they left that shit a long time ago. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, they blew up Genosha. That's what
they blew up Genosha. No, Muir Island is where
By the way,
what's her name
I'm sure that if they needed a storyline for Genosha wasn't blown up. Just saying.
Right, yeah, no. They've killed 7 million mutants on Genosha twice.
Yeah.
They did. Morrison did, and then they blew it up like a couple months ago, like a year ago or something, a year and a half ago.
Oh, and that was before the first genocide with Extinction... Nope. What was it?
Did you do it again? Three times?
No, it was Extinction Agenda. Yeah.
They blew it up a third time?
No. They didn't blow it up that first time.
Oh.
But like they
just killed a lot of mutants.
They just killed a ton of mutants.
Morrison killed all of them.
Morrison's Cassandra Nova Tri-Sentinel is like, how you like me now, bitches? And then
Ben just blew it up, didn't he? Like they blew it up like off panel or something crazy. Like it just happened.
You mean in the recent Uncanny?
Like more recent, yeah.
It wasn't the whole island they blew up, but it was just they set off bombs.
Fucking.
So anyway, they go to Muir Island, which is not Genosha.
Yeah. Cable's the best.
And
nice door.
Finally, he notices the door.
I'm not breaking this in again. See you guys.
Yeah, no. It was really tough to read. I mean, it was painful because it.
We'll talk the whole event, I think, when it's over.
I'm trying to remember. Is it 2 years that mutants weren't endangered or less?
No, like in general? Well, remember there was 198 of them?
Yeah, and then I remember at the end of AVX, they kind of went, mutants can be born again.
Right.
And then they decided the Terrigen Mist.
Right, immediately. Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to think. So they could have new mutants for like 2 years before they...
But in comic time, that's like 30 seconds. Yeah. So if you didn't bang out that night, like it's not or if you didn't bang out 9 months prior...
busting nuts on this podcast now.
Unless you give birth that night, it's not happening.
No, I think that... We'll see. It's two different stories. It's following Cyclops and it's following...
Oh, God, let's talk about main Marvel characters. They've shat over for years as Cyclops. Cyclops gets shit from people sometimes, but he's a cool dude. I don't see why Cyclops...
He always got shit for being a square. Now he just gets shit for shit's sake.
For being for people writing him horribly.
Well, I kind of feel like they systematically took out people's love for Xavier over a couple years.
Yeah,
and then they're like, okay, now that we finally got rid of Xavier, we need to move on to the next.
Two characters that Marvel has just absolutely ruined. It's Xavier and Cyclops. Like, man, if you're a fan of those characters, what a bad time to be alive. Like,
just imagine Tomasi writing those characters.
Oh God, it'd be so good. Oh God, it'd be so good.
Yeah,
but then he would leave Superman, and no, that can't happen. Superman's.
I mean, Death of X. It's 4 issues.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know, I have no idea, but it's. We'll I think it's still funny though that we don't know where Hope is. Or do we know where Hope is?
Fuck her. Who cares about Hope? Bryce left just in time. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode. We gotta thank a bunch of our good friends on Patreon here. We like to do this once a month. We got our big backers here to thank. Let's thank them as always. Albert Sawyer, good friend. Albert, I'm just saying, when that PSVR comes out, you can drop it off here at the store. Thank you. Albert Sawyer, you got Plant everywhere on iTunes. That's awesome. You should go follow his app and download that and upload some pictures. It's all good. Julian Titus has the Nerds Without Pants podcast at pixelbit.com. Toby?
No pants.
There it is. Ryan Hess has the Preach podcast. That's soundcloud.com/Preach podcast. Jody Lawson is Canon, the Triad Comics anthology at triadcomicstudios.com. Make sure you read his books there. Thank you. We also want to thank our good friends Manoa Place, Sam Shea, and Talon. Talon. How about Talon Bray? I'll pronounce that correctly.
You are never going to pronounce it right, so just stick with getting it wrong.
Thank you, all of our good friends here. We also have all sorts of other people we'd like to thank. Let's go through this list really fast. Thank these guys once a month. If you would like to be on this list, we want to thank you.
Stop. You got to micro machine it.
No, God, I can't do it. Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy. Let's thank Alex McHale, Matthew Schnapp, Don Kilson, Mark Long, Ivan Leskanik, Brian Morawski, Matthew Holmes, Dennis Jansen, Paula Schultz, Jason Thomas, Blake Etheridge, Keith Amaral, Christopher Noyes, Kevin Nguyen, David Safar, Stephen McClary, Travis, Gary Hollinsby, John G., Sloan, Ocularis, Aaron Wright, Father Dante, Joel Jimenez, Chris Pelecki, Kevin Ellis, and Edgar Moreno. And I apologize for everyone's name I mispronounced because I do that every episode without fail at least once. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for your wonderful, wonderful patronage on patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy. Anything else?
Me and Charlie should have a new roundup in a couple of weeks.
If you're a Patreon backer, you're going to get the exclusive TV movie roundup with Toby Sidler and Charlie West, and exclusive for now on our Patreon page. Yeah.
And we'll be covering a lot of the new shows that started this season.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Including Flash and Arrow, or are you going for non-comic?
No, we're going to skip those for now.
Brand new TV shows like Lethal Weapon and Timeless and Designated Survivor.
Yeah.
And what am I missing?
Did you guys talk about some Westworld?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Probably.
That's on my list.
Oh, Westworld's so good.
Designated Survivor.
Whoa, you fucking fuck ass. You fuck ass.
Fucking fuck ass.
Yeah.
Apparently,
yeah. First of all, you need to stop watching the fake Veronica Mars and watch Veronica Mars instead of the vampire show. Yeah. And then Westworld, fucking watch Person of Interest. You watch all these fucking, after they done their magic, secondary shows, and you're like, it's fucking great.
There's no secondary Westworld. No, Westworld's amazing.
Fucking Person of Interest is so good.
Comic book writer Ed Brubaker is, I believe, like a producer on the show when he's writing a couple episodes, at least one episode.
It's the team from Person of Interest, and you're missing out on all the fucking good shit.
You should watch Westworld because it's really good.
I am, dude. I'm fucking on top of that shit, dude. You're the one that's not on top of my shit.
There you go.
That didn't sound right. It's not sexual at all.
I just wanted to say that Designated Survivor kind of sounds like Final Destination just renamed.
I don't know what it is. I haven't heard
it. Jack Bauer, but instead of Jack Bauer, he's actually the president, and Maggie Q is Jack Bauer.
Okay. We should also have a new Bryce briefly up next time Bryce is here. We couldn't record last time. So.
No, I got it better. It's Jack Bauer as President Palmer, and Maggie Q / Nikita as Jack Bauer.
Okay.
That's Designated Survivor.
I know like 2.5 of those characters. If you would like to hear this episode, please go to comicconspiracypodcast.com, geekbox.net, or iTunes.
If you want to listen to more episodes, they've already listened to this episode if they've heard this part.
Oh, you can listen to it again. Please rate and review us on iTunes. It apparently helps people find the podcast. That's always appreciated. The Comic Conspiracy, geekbox.net is where you could send us some emails or the contact forum there as well. Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy is where you can go to donate some money to us for this lovely, lovely podcast that we do. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz is where you can buy your digital comic books from us. And I don't say there's always crazy sales. There's usually crazy sales. Nothing.
About every few weeks they do a crazy sale.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything big this last
week.
This
is a minor sale week.
ConspiratorBrock.com, that is Brock's blog and video playlist. Go check that stuff out. Wanderers of the Fourth Dimension, that's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. And Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is my lovely wife. That is her her art storefront there on Etsy. Please check that out. We're all on Twitter. I'm Ryan Higgins Ryan. Brock is Brock Sager. Bryce is Larsen Bryce. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie is Insanity and Chaos. The store is Comics Con Store. Listen to the Geekbox Comedy Button. Good job, Brian. I'll talk podcasts and Manga Machinations. Those are podcasts on our little network. We appreciate, or they all appreciate if you listen to them. That's it for this week. We'll catch you next week. Goodbye.
We did not talk about Iron Fist.
Iron Fist teaser. We'll talk about that next. Goodbye, everyone.